Welcome to the bright side of 50. Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to another episode of The Bright Side of 50 with Carla Palmer. Why does it feel like I haven't seen y'all in so long? I was thinking about that today and I was like, oh my gosh, you've been doing audio only because it's been so hot in Cali. It's been so hot in California. So it's finally cooling down. I hear that the heat is coming back. But before it does, I said, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do a video episode this week so that I can see y'all. Hey, hey, sis. Hey, I missed y'all. And it's weird because I don't see you when I do the recording, but I just miss doing video. I feel like it's a better connection when you do video with somebody. So we're doing video today. And what are we talking about today? I am talking about how I stay focused on what's most important. And this is something that I've been trying to do over the years and I've gotten better at it. And I feel like the last 3 months, as I've been really intentional about doing some really important things in my life because I'm trying to change some things, I feel much better. I feel even better and I feel even more equipped, if that's the right word. I feel even more equipped and empowered because of these 10 things that I have been doing. Some of them are new, some of them I've been doing. So 10 things, 10 ways I stay focused on what's important. Number one, this might surprise some of you, but I don't watch TV. I don't own a TV. I haven't watched TV in, definitely over a decade. Not to say that I won't watch it if I'm over somebody's house and something is on. Of course, I'll watch TV then. But I'm not drawn to TV. I don't have a television in my home. I haven't owned a television in quite some time. My son had a television when he lived with me, but TV does nothing for me. Now it used to. So I used to be a person who watched all the shows. And this was back in like Desperate Housewives days. I know I'm dating myself, but back when The Practice was on, Desperate Housewives, back when Law and Order was like really, really popular, Criminal Minds, like those are the types of shows that I watched. I had never really been a big reality TV girl. There's something about the reality TV characters, and I'm calling them characters because they are, but they have no redeeming qualities and nothing that I can connect to as a woman. Most of these shows with the like the housewives and all that stuff, I don't get into any of that foolishness. But I was watching Desperate Housewives, and it was a show, but it was pretty bad. So I think the Housewives series came after Desperate Housewives. Probably got some of the concepts from that show. And, I even feel ashamed saying that I was watching Desperate Housewives because it was so bad. I didn't get into Scandal. I got into it at first, and then there was something about rooting for the other woman to go get her man that was not sitting right with me. I was like, now, how you going to tune in every day to see The Rendezvous? How you going to look at that and be okay with that and cheer for this lady sleeping with somebody else's man? Not okay. This is how they plant seeds in the industry. And this is how they normalize things, right? We've already talked about, he's separated, not divorced. We already did that episode. And I don't think there's a need to do an episode on he's married. Leave that man alone. I digress. So I don't have a television. Let me tell you how I stopped watching TV. So I stopped watching TV because there was one day years ago, like over a decade ago, we were in the office and we were doing this really big mailing. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, I work in a nonprofit space. I'm a director of development, so I do fundraising. But at the time I was still working on the program side. But the fundraising team at the time needed some support with this big mailing that they were doing. And so we were all in the office. We were doing this big mailing and we were stuffing envelopes, and everybody kept talking about the shows that they were watching. And it was like, 5, 6, 7 different shows. And, oh, do you watch this show? Oh, do you watch that show? Oh my God, did you see what happened on this show? Your girl, me, knew all the shows. And I didn't think anything of it until the president of the company at the time says, my goodness, you watch a lot of TV. And the way that she said it was a tone that was a little judgmental, right? I mean, we all judge, but I heard the tone, I heard the judgment. And I thought, oh my goodness, you do watch a lot of TV. And why do you know something about all of these different shows? And what are you doing with your time? Are you turning on the TV at 6 or 7 o'clock? I think it was 7 where the shows really started. And are you really watching TV till 10 or 11 o'clock every day? I was. And it was so weird, but I was able to go cold turkey on the TV. I was so embarrassed and ashamed, right? Not that I should have been, but I was. That was a feeling that I had at the time that I said, no more. You will not know all of these shows. You will find something better to do with your time. This will not be you anymore. And I cut it off. And I've never gone back to watching TV. I don't know what it was, but I didn't miss it. I just didn't do it. And I found other things to do. So that's how I stay focused. I don't have a TV, and I also don't have any streaming services. I don't have Hulu. I don't have Netflix. I don't have Disney Plus. I don't have Prime. I don't have any of that stuff. None of it. I have passwords to some of them that my friends have said I could use to check something out. I have checked that one thing out that they were telling me to look at, and and it wasn't a series, and I have not used those passwords again. So it's not something that I want to subscribe to any longer. I just don't do it, and I just don't miss it. So no TV. I don't watch the news. I also do not watch the news. I do get some of my news from the internet, different sites, New York Times. Sometimes I'll look at CNN. But yeah, I don't watch the news. It's no point. So much propaganda, so many scare tactics. I get the important things that I need to get from the internet, and then I'm done. So I don't watch the news. Now, the other thing that I don't do as much as I used to is social media scrolling. I was spending hours and hours of time scrolling on social media when I could have been using that time to do something much more productive. So something much more productive than scrolling, getting stuck, watching people's lives, looking at all these different reels. It just wasn't serving me. And one time I looked at the hours because, you can track the amount of time that you're on social media. And it was, I ain't gonna even say the number. It was a lot of hours that I had spent on social media. And this was calculating a 24-hour period. And I thought to myself, there's much more that you could get done without scrolling and paying attention to what other people are doing and not focusing on what you need to be doing, because you have some goals that you want to accomplish for yourself. You have a way of living and operating that you want to do for yourself. Why are you watching what other people are doing? How is that serving you? It's not. So I cut back on that too. And, the other thing about social media is the meme sharing. So what I've noticed lately is that when I go on there, I can see in my DMs that I have a bunch of memes that people have shared with me. They're either memes or episodes that people have done live. And sometimes they don't even go with anything that I would even want to see. And I'm thinking to myself, why does this person even think that I would want to see something like this? Is it because I've exchanged this kind of stuff with them in the past and this is not how I'm operating anymore? These are the things that I'm not putting in my spirit anymore, but they don't know. So you have to start retraining people on what you want to see, what you do not want to see, what you want in your spirit, what you don't want in your spirit. And you also have to train yourself. So whenever you stay too long on something, on a social media post that somebody made, if you stay on there too long, you're telling the algorithm, I love this. I want to see more of this. And what do? They show you more of that. You go to your home feed, where you see a whole bunch of nothing, foolishness, because you've spent too much time on the foolishness that you've either come across or something that someone else has sent you that you've engaged with too long. And you're telling the algorithm, this is what I want to see. And you're also telling that person, when you respond with LOL, oh my gosh, that was so funny, or don't respond at all. Don't respond at all. But when you do that, I thought I turned that little thumbs up thing. I thought I turned it off. I need to go back in there and do that, but don't mind that. But when you are engaging with that foolishness that people are sending you, or even if it's not foolishness, maybe it's information that you don't care to know anything about, either you tell them or you ignore the DMs when they send them to you. I think that we should probably tell them, especially if it's somebody that you care about, just tell them, I'm not watching this kind of stuff anymore. Please don't send me those. Or, hey, I'm staying off of social media as much as I can these days. So don't send me any memes unless it's something that I would love to see, and something that is going to uplift my spirit, educate me on something that I care about, or make me laugh hysterically, right? Or a really good recipe that I'm going to make, okay? Those are kind of the things, right? But the foolishness, like, tell people to stop sending that stuff to you, and you stop sending the stuff to other people if you are watching it occasionally, and you teach people what you want to see, okay? So limiting time on social media and limiting the meme and DM shares that are not serving you, that are not in alignment with the spirit that you want, with the characteristics of Christ, because we're all trying to be more Christ-like. If you're here, you know that about me. And so you know that I'm going to stick that in there whenever I can. All right. So the other thing that I have here, stay focused on what's important, is, hey, sis, hey, I just wanted to take a moment to ask you, have you subscribed to The Bright Side of 50 with Carla Palmer? If you have not, could you please take a moment, if you like the podcast, take a moment now to hit the subscribe button so that you become a subscriber. Turn on your notifications so that you're notified when a new episode drops, okay? Also, follow me on Instagram. I am The Bright Side of 50 over there on Instagram too. Thank you so much. Now let you get back to the episode. Not having clutter in my house. I don't like a lot of clutter. I like a lot of plants, but they ain't clutter, because plants make me happy. Plants help clean my air. Okay, so plants are not clutter. I have so many plants. I think I'm probably at like 25 house plants at this point. It makes me happy. So I have a lot of plants, but all the other things, like my books and my clothes and other things, they have a place. So I get rid of the clutter, because when I see clutter, it brings about stress and anxiety. That is not necessary. It's unnecessary. If it's something that I can avoid or lessen or keep at bay by having no clutter, then I don't. I put things away. Everything has its place. Okay, so that's the thing. When I wash my clothes, I put them up. I wash my clothes. I dry them. I take them out. I fold them up. I put them away. Right? So there's order there. I wash my dishes every single day. I don't go to bed without my dishes being washed, right? Because I want to get up in the morning. When I get up in the morning, I want to start fresh. I don't want to wash dishes in the morning. I want to wake up with a clean kitchen. I want to get my coffee, and I want to get busy doing whatever it is I'm going to do in the morning. So I wash my dishes every day, and I put them away. I put them in the dish drain. I don't always put them away back up in the cabinet now. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm not doing that. So I should probably, focus on that too. I also have a shredder. So when we're talking about clutter, sometimes those papers, they pile up, right? Now there's a place for them, but that place gets piled up if you're not going through the junk mail or, the mail that you need to go through to, make sure you ain't missing no bills. So have a designated time during the month or every other week that you are taking those papers, you're opening up that mail, you're going through them, and you're shredding the things that have that information on it that you don't want to throw in the trash. So you shred it and you throw it away, and then you get rid of that pile of mail, right? And sometimes my son's stuff still comes here, so I'm making sure that I'm not, sitting on things that he needs to know about, things that have deadlines, due dates, all of that. So have a shredder. Make sure you're shredding. Make sure you have shred days. And then the things that you are opening up that need to be put away, have a filing system where they are filed away. So mine is just in this kind of like organizing container. And that container has tabs, for my car, for taxes, or, my rental property, like things like that. Even has like ideas for like vacations, stuff like that in there. So I have a place where those things go once it's been opened and I decide that this is something that I need to keep. I go and I file it away, and that way it's not in my way. And that way it's not all junking up my table or whatever and making me look like you don't have your life together. Okay. So shredding. So along with the shredding, I'm looking at the bills that I need to pay, and I am putting those in order so that they are accounted for and what I need to do on my budget, because I do keep a budget that I operate from regularly on the daily. I operate from my budget. Do I go over? Yes, sometimes I do, but at least I got a budget. Okay. So I'm doing that. I have a day every 2 weeks because I get paid bi-weekly. I do my bills and I know what needs to be paid, and I've got those bills are on the table or they're in my app. So I have a way of keeping that in order, because that's going to allow me to stay focused on what's important. And then when something comes up that's unexpected, at least there's some order to the way that I manage my finances, and I'm not extra stressed and worried about that. Does that make sense? I hope so. I make my bed every day. Every day I get up, I make the bed. When I get out of the bed, I turn around and I make up the bed. Two reasons. One, because I don't like a messy bed. I like to see my house neat and clean. And I also don't want to have an opportunity to get back in that bed. Because sometimes when that bed is not made, it's calling us, Carla, don't you want to lay down? Just 5 more minutes. Just 10 more minutes. Just a few more minutes. Come on, get back in. Nope. When I get up, if that alarm goes off and I get up, my goal, now I don't do this every single time, but my goal is to stay out of the bed, to make up the bed and go on and start my day. And that is usually between 5:30 in the morning and 6 in the morning, sometimes 6:30. So making up that bed helps me stay focused on what's important. When I get that extra start to my day, those few hours before 9, it allows me to get some other things done, like my prayer time, my worship time, my vision board. I study my vision board, and I'm like, God, whatever's on this vision board that I desire, if it is in your will for me to have any of these things, please show me how to get there, right? Because I want these things if they are in your will for me. I also, water my plants. I water my plants every morning. I'm doing my best to keep them alive. All of my plants, all of my babies. When I say that I water them every morning, it's not like I'm overwatering them. You know what? I might be overwatering one of them because it's dying, but it's a little spritz. And all of them don't need the spritz, but the ones that do, the ones that are on the more tropical, I do give them a little spritz. And that's a part of my morning routine and me staying focused on keeping things healthy myself. And that helps. The last thing that I want to say, and I hope that I've done 10, I think that I have. But the last thing I want to say is that I mind my weekend schedule. I used to not do this. I used to overbook. I used to tell everybody, yes, I can come. If my availability if I didn't have anything planned, right, like a work thing, and you told me that you were having this thing and you really wanted me to come, I was there. I would come because I like to be supportive. But what I found over time is that you wear yourself out. I work hard during the week. Sometimes I don't work 8 hours a day. Sometimes I work 12 hours a day or 10 hours a day. So when the weekend comes, I want to guard my weekends to do the things that I need to do for myself, right? One of them is podcasting. I want to get the information out to you guys. I want to spend some time with you. And in order for me to spend time with you, then I have to prepare to spend time with you, right? Like I thought about these 10 things that I wanted to share with you today. And then I have to upload the podcast. I have to edit it. I have to do all the things, right? And so if I'm saying yes to everything on the weekends and I'm not spending any time with myself, focused on the things that I need to do for myself, also relaxing and not doing anything is a great thing that we need to do on the weekends. We only get 2 days, guys. We only got Saturday and Sunday for those of us who work a 9 to 5, in a regular 9 to 5 schedule. We've only got 2 days. I'm a fan of the 4 day work week, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But I don't pack my schedule anymore on the weekends. And for those people in my life who are very close to me, they understand and they don't make me feel bad about it. They don't make me feel bad when I say, hey, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I don't have a lot on my calendar this weekend, but I don't have the energy or the even desire sometimes. And if my friends, my real friends, my close friends, like they even get if I say something like this, I don't want to do anything this weekend outside of the house. I just want to stay by myself and spend time doing what I want to do without feeling obligated to do anything for anybody else. And my close friends will say, girl, I love it. I got it. Let's get together some other time. Right. And that's how it should be. We shouldn't be surrounding ourselves with people who don't understand a hard work week or an exhaustive work week and then wanting to spend time with yourself on the weekend and saying to them, hey, this isn't a good weekend. I'm booked or I am exhausted, or hey, this is Carla weekend, Carla time. Can we get together some other time? Hey, actually, let me put you in my calendar. What will work for you over the next week or two? Then you calendar that person, your friend. Yes, you calendar your friends, guys. You calendar your friends. And that also should make them feel really important that you were going to put them in the calendar and schedule time to spend with them. They should understand that. Okay. They should understand that. If they don't, I don't know. It's a little weird if they don't understand it. The only people who might not understand it are people who might not be as ambitious as you. Doesn't mean that you're better than them. Doesn't mean that you're better than them, but it just means that you may be a little more ambitious. You may have a little more demanding job. You may have some other things that you're working on, and maybe they're not. Maybe they don't have to do any of the things that you have to do to sustain yourself or to grow and evolve into the person that you want to be. Then they're just not going to get it. And they just might get their feelings hurt. And if they do get their feelings hurt, then maybe you need to rethink how much time you're spending thinking about this person and trying to make them happy because they don't understand that you don't have a lot of time to spend with them. That could be exhausting in itself. So I really don't have a lot of friends who don't understand, how ambitious I am, and they're ambitious too. And we all got things going on. And so we have to understand that we can't always get together when this person has space, but I might not have space. And we have to make space on the calendar where we can both sync up to a time that works best for both of us. I hope this was helpful to some of you. Give me some of the takeaways that you have from this episode. Like what landed? What was like, oh, I need to do that. Or, ooh, I do that too. And it's really a great thing that I do on a regular basis. Or, hey, you should think about this too, Carla. Like, I like it when y'all add things because we're all in this thing together. We're all helping each other to grow and evolve and to be the best that we can be in this second half of life, right? Just because we're in our 50s or over 50 doesn't mean that life is ending. Life is just beginning for a lot of us. Life is getting better for all of us if we're intentional about the way that we're moving through it. Does that say that we are not going to encounter challenges? Of course not. That is the way that life happens and life works. But the more that we work on ourselves, the more that we work on our spirit, and the more that we are in our word, right? We're in our word and we are getting that solid foundation of Christ-like living, then we are going to be better equipped to meet those challenges head on and to overcome those challenges and live a life of joy and peace and happiness. All right. So that's the goal here, right? The bright side of 50, living in joy and abundance and just feeling good about life. All right. So anyway, I will see you on the next episode of The Bright Side of 50 with Carla Palmer. Take care, guys.